On a cold winter's night, an old beggar woman comes to a young spoiled prince's castle, offering him a single rose in return for shelter. But the prince turns her away solely for her appearance. The woman warns him not to be deceived by appearances, for beauty is found within, only to be rejected again. She then transforms into a beautiful enchantress, and turns the prince into a hideous beast, and his servants into various household objects, while giving him the rose to use as an hourglass. The only way he can break the spell is to learn to love another, and earn her love in return before the last petal falls. 10 years later, a beautiful young girl named Belle makes her way into town one morning to get a book from the local bookseller. On the way, she expresses her wish to live in a world like her books, full of adventure, while the townspeople note her unparalleled beauty, but find her love of books odd. Belle has also attracted the attention of Gaston, the local hunter and town hero, who admires her only for her beauty. Belle, however, is not obvious to her peers' views of her, and voices her concerns about it to her eccentric father and inventor Maurice, who assures her that she is anything but strange. The two of them put their finishing touches on his invention, and Maurice heads off to an invention fair, donning a scarf knitted for him by Belle. Becomes lost in the woods and is attacked by a pair of wolves. Surviving the wolf attack, he enters the beast's castle, where he meets the servants, including Lumiere, a maitre d' turned into a candelabra, and Cogsworth, the head of the household, turned into a clock, Babette, a maid, turned into a feather duster, Mrs. Potts, the head of the kitchen, turned into a teapot, and finally Chip, her son, turned into a teacup. They welcomed him, but the horrid beast arrives and locks Maurice away in the dungeon for trespassing. Back in the town, Gaston proposes to Belle, which she politely rejects. Appalled by Gaston's forwardness, Belle once again voices her need for a life outside this provincial life. Gaston's sidekick, LeFou, returns to the woods wearing the scarf Belle knitted for Maurice. Belle realizes her father is in danger and heads into the woods to look for him. She ends up at the castle, where she finds her father locked away in the dungeon. She makes a deal with the beast. Maurice goes free, but she remains instead. They agree, and Maurice is sent back to the town without being allowed to say goodbye. Belle is given a guest room and ordered by the beast to join him for dinner. She mourns her situation, but Mrs. Potts and Madame de la Grande Bouche, an operatic wardrobe, attempt to cheer her up. Back in the town, at the local tavern, Gaston sulks at his loss of a bride, though the foo and the patrons successfully attempt to cheer him up. When Maurice rushes in, claiming a beast has Belle locked away, they laugh at him. But Gaston is inspired by Maurice's claims to formulate a sinister plan. Back at the castle, the beast grows impatient as Belle has yet to join him for dinner. But when Cogsworth warns him she refuses to come, a shouting match between Belle and the beast ensues, which ends in victory for Belle. And the beast then tells her if she cannot eat with him, then she will not eat at all. He storms back to his quarters and begins to sulk, noting his fate should the spell not break. Eventually, Belle does become hungry and ventures into the kitchen where the servants offer her dinner despite their master's orders, and they treat her to an amazing cabaret show. After dinner, Belle gets a tour of the castle courtesy of Cogsworth and Lumiere. Her courtesy leads her to the West Wing, a place the Beast told her was forbidden. Mesmerized by a mysterious rose floating in a bell jar, she reaches out to touch it, but before she can, the Beast stops her and orders her to get out, accidentally shoving her in the process. Fearing for her life, Belle flees from the castle. Realizing his mistake, the Beast knows he will be a monster forever if he cannot learn to love her. And this is where Act 1 ends. And the cast will have a small break. And then Act 2 begins. In the woods, Belle is attacked by the wolves and is only rescued when the Beast comes to her aid. But he is injured during the fight and collapses. Instead of taking the chance to run home, Belle helps him back to the castle. She cleans his injuries, and after a brief argument about whose fault this is, the Beast thanks her for her kindness, and thus their friendship is born. Wanting to give her a thank you gift, the Beast gives Bella his huge library, which excites her. She notes a change in Beast's personality, as the servants note a change in Belle and the Beast's relationship. They express their hope of being once more, while Belle asks Beast to accompany her to dinner that night. Back in the village tavern, Gaston and LeFou meet with the asylum owner, Monsieur Dark. They plan to lock Maurice away, going to blackmail Belle into marrying Gaston, using Maurice as bait. The Beast and Belle attend a lovely dinner, and back at the castle, the Beast and Belle attend a lovely dinner and a personal ball where they dance together. The Beast, who plans to tell Belle he loves her, asks Belle if she is happy here, to which she responds positively, but notes that she misses her father. He offers her his magic mirror to view him, and she sees that Maurice is sick and lost in the woods and fears for his life. Even though the Beast knows there are only a few hours left till the last petal falls from the rose, he allows Belle to leave to save her father, and she departs after a bittersweet goodbye. Belle finds her father and brings him back to their house in the village. After she nurses him back to health, she explains the transformation she seems to have gone through while she was with the Beast. A mob, led by Gaston, to take Maurice to the local insane asylum, but Belle proves her father's sanity by showing the townspeople the Beast is real using the magic mirror, but does not realize the error in her gesture. The townspeople immediately fear the Beast, but Belle insists that he is gentle and kind. Gaston catches her tone and recognizes the Beast as his rival for Belle's affections, and organizes the mob to kill the Beast. To warn the Beast, Belle and Maurice attempt to beat the mob to the castle. They arrive too late as Gaston and the mob reach the castle. The servants keep the lynch mob at bay, but Gaston breaks through and finds the Beast in the tower. He engages in a fight with him mercilessly, beating and taunting him. But the Beast has lost the will to live, and at Belle's departure, as Gaston moves in for the killing blow, Belle arrives. The beast immediately turns on Gaston and is prepared to kill him, but it spares his life after seeing the fear in his eyes. The Beast and Belle are reunited, but this reunion is cut short as Gaston fatally stabs the Beast in the back. This acting of violence causes Gaston to lose his footing and falls to his death. Belle assures the Beast he'll live, but they both know she is helpless to save him. She begs him not to leave her because she has found a home in his company. But despite this, he dies. Belle sobs and whispers, "I love you." Just as the last rose petal falls, a transformation occurs, and the Beast is alive and human once more. Though Belle does not recognize him at first, she looks into his eyes and sees the Beast within, and they share a kiss. The two of them sing how their lives had changed forever, changed because of love, and they dance once more as the servants, now changed back into their human form, gathers in the ballroom, and the cast take their bow. Beauty and the Beast was nominated for 9 Tony Awards.